Hello, folks. We got some more LTA North VoD reviews. This time around, LYON versus Shopify Rebellion. This one's late. I moved. You can see I still got a TV down on this side of me. We haven't all set up here yet, so apologize for the lateness of this. Did have a decent reason for it. I'm trying to play some catch up now. After we are currently at the 10th, so we have the teams decided that go to Brazil. These teams are still competing. In this case, neither of the teams in this VoD made it, but still going to go over everything and see what's up. So that being said, thanks so much for tuning in advance. Follow me everywhere at Cubby XX. Let's dive right on in. Okay. All right. I remember this game. Oh, shit. We got to get the pen up, guys. We got to draw. I remember really liking the draft here for LYON, just given how much direction that you have in a comp. When you go for something like Pantheon Vi Aurora, I think Panth Vi is a pretty decent combo as well. Just given the setup that you can play off one another, which I think is really nice. Definitely something I really look for with Panth, because I think that Panth, like, I really like Pantheon. I think his kit's actually in a pretty decent spot right now. You have really valuable abilities. I mean, this guy is really, really, really strong in the early game, and I like the fact that some people are playing around with Panth support too in this format. I do think that Braum is a good pick into it, but also just being able to take the Vi into the Sejuani, that's a much better matchup than the Panth and the Sejuani, who has really no way to get through everything that Sejuani is able to stack up. Vi's W helps a lot in that matchup, so that's good. I know they added a % health thing to Panth's W, but it's not really the same as Netting Blows. Meanwhile, on the side of Shopify Rebellion, so I think that Sej Braum is a decent pairing, because usually for Braum, I look for main engage. But Sejuani is really your only engage or playmaking in this comp, and everyone else needs to play off that. That can be really tough when you are going up against a team that has 3 characters that can really attack and pull the trigger. So it's like, how can we absorb it? Oh, I think that the Victor, the Braum, can absorb it decently well. Corki can somewhat survive it, but I think that Corki ends up having some issues in this draft. Just given that you do get outranged by Azrael, so you're going to get peppered. Cassante does interact pretty well with you. You got to be really careful about when and where you use the Valkyrie, and Cassante can keep up with that. And overall, I just don't feel like there's enough CC to stop the onslaught that LYON has in this draft. So, like, everything just kind of boiled down to that. Also, I do think, I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure there's a game for the Tank Jace, which I'm not sure if Fudge opts for or not. But let's just dive into the gameplay. Like, I will say Braum and a Panth, like, is kind of a neutralizer. Oh, whoops. All right, level 1, potential lane swap. Run a guess standard. Fudge leached a little bit of XP off mid. Yeah, I mean, this ends up being a little bit weird just because SR, like, given the start, I think they assumed it was going to be a swap and not standard, so they just lose out early. Because if it is a swap, I can't understand Fudge being mid. Jace is not a champion that's very good level 1 in swap scenarios. You don't want to get peppered down. But he just misses XP. So he's behind. And Palafox is a hair behind now, too. Keep up the good work, Cubster. What's up, Swede? Good to see you. We're late on the VoD review streams, so we're trying to keep it up. I did move this week, so I don't want to use it as an excuse, but also a little bit valid that, I mean, we're not close to having everything set up here, but yeah. Anyway, I was a little bit late too. I had to make sure that
he's hot.
Oh, thanks for the sub. 16 months. Well, I went through the games from yesterday because I was kind of watching them like half-assed. I had the Super Bowl on too. We had to enjoy both of our hobby and our passion. You know. Good react flash here from Palafox. I don't know if he needs to make this play, though. I mean, he definitely has to, right? Like, his lane is hard. I think contracts might need to help him here. Like he walks away on vision, and that opens this up. I think that if he W's the creeps and they get this in together, and then Palafox keeps his flash. Because Palafox is going to die because he loses his flash later on. And that's really good from Audi that he was able to, take the flash away. Victor flash, really valuable. A lot of matchups where Victor just dies later on if you don't have flash around 6. This is definitely one of them. So I think contracts needs a team shove that one in. And being there to protect Palafox is good. Just had to get it in this team too. I mean, B-Boy needs to get out. I just think that, like, we're down, down here. Oh, they didn't have vision in the brush still. So you can't complete Winter's Bite, but also, like, I feel like he could have completed the Winter's Bite here. And it just kind of got weird. Ends up being not great. And contracts. This felt like a little bit of desperation. Or a miscom, for sure. Because Az is no mana, so like if Az is no flash, then that play does connect. But if, yeah, you're gonna Q flash. Yeah, not gonna work. It's Sedge. If Az has flash. Okay, so I mean, SR in the hole, somewhat. Fudge doing a nice job top lane. I do think that this matchup is winning for Jace, but probably shouldn't be this winning, especially after he missed some XP level 1. Alright, they're gonna get grubs, good. LYON, though, forces B-Boy, like, way off bot, and they get Drake, so... Given that one of the lanes was starved out, again, really like this for LYON. I think it's pretty fine to drop first 3 grubs if you're gonna do stuff like this. Right, they force them off bot, they take Drake, and then they punish the mid-no flash. So, like, for me, opting to not fight the grubs at all... Or, sorry, they did... Yeah, if you're LYON, opting to not fight the grubs and make those plays, I think is very valid. And Miss was Fly TL. I've seen the bottom. Sad I missed it. Yeah. Which player has surprised you the most this split this far? Positive or negative? Ooh, might be one I have to answer like closer to the end. I think negatively. I don't think B-Boy played well, and I think that B-Boy dodged out actually in a lot of criticism. So I would just bring him up because I feel like it just wasn't talked about or mentioned because people are looking at other people on that team. But I don't think B-Boy played well. And then Surdy has kind of surprised me in just like how he's playing. I know that the FlyQuest series wasn't great, but in the first couple series, thought he was doing a really good job of impacting the map. And wasn't actually winning well, or like wasn't respecting enough in lane, which surprised me a bit. I think that SR needs to stack their CC better, and if they do, it's winning. Yeah, look at this. I think Contract's got a hold to see. Because you can Winner's Bite, and so they layer it. And then he holds... Or no, he did use the R. And big fight from Saint. The fact that Audi got out is pretty wild there. I think pressing R is fine, and you just try and trade 1 for 1, right? Fact to get out, pretty crazy. But if SR layers their CC better, I think they do get Audi. More of an early sniper vibe. Yeah, no, different archetype than sniper for sure. I think Surdy plays a lot more rigid, sniper a lot more free. You know, it looks like Surdy's been playing pretty free actually so far on Dig, which I appreciate. Yeah, I do think that if we layer our CC better here with Shopfire Rebellion, we can actually get this kill. And then VoD can't do much here, but I don't know. Like, the only thing that you can really cleanse out of this game is Pant W. I do think Auroras, though, is actually valuable to cleanse out of later on if you're in that position, but it's like, that's actually it's pretty fat. But yeah, the Pant stun's pretty rough, and they managed to get in the back line. And it's going to be the Heartsteel Pant. I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of this pick, actually. I think Heartsteel Pant support's actually pretty good. Like, if you get ahead of all, it just feels like you can win fights at this point of the game. Because all your abilities are pretty valuable, and they just cannot force you out. Go for Drake. Okay. Hannah didn't base for too much here. Just Lucidity boots. Maybe they just don't want to fight on that timer. I mean, they have stuff up. Yeah, it's like, I mean, I'm thinking about this because I think Lions, I think they're strong right now. I mean, like, that's a good play, but we saw objective. By the way, I do want to go back and look from Shopify perspective. Because they ended up getting Grubs 5-1 here. It's like, frankly, I mean, like, this point, I want to see them, like, all shift down. Or shift up. Like, I think that if we're 5-1 Grubs, then we need to be, like, 4-1. In one of these two setups, right? And right now we're playing all three lanes, which is fine if you're going to correct. But going for the one, like, this setup and Drake in this window, when you are 5-1 Grubs and you can just try and force down plate, you are opening up yourself to Panth Vi. But again, if you keep that, at least like for the one, but at the moment, like, playing the 1-3-1 and playing into bot, like, you're more vulnerable playing 3 lanes to Panth Vi than just playing 2. So I think the SR also needs to, like, for me, this would be, we get 5 Grubs, let's reset, and then we're going to 4-1 in one of the sides. Like, we're going to split the map and just win. Because we have 5 Grubs. So I feel like SR just didn't proactively do anything with Grubs in that window, and plates were up at that point. Now they are not. And again, like, we're just playing 3 lanes. Like, I mean, here, like, I want Jace to, like, shove that wave and then go mid, play that, and then, like, everyone plays in the bot in this formation, you know? Like, Jace can go long way to mid, too. He can go safe. Yeah. It's just a real bummer to have 5 Grubs and, like, not make a proactive play for it. We'll play Licorice. Again, like, Lion is the stronger comp right now, so I don't want to take away from that, but like, they're the ones that are pushing bricks and getting first brick against the 5 Grub team. Again, with 5 Grubs, you can force that, and that's feats, so that's a big deal. Do Winter's Bite stacks show in addition to Sejuani stacks? Yes. Sorry if I'm late on that. Move the chat a little bit closer. It's the new setup, guys. All good. It's the new setup. It looks the exact same, except for the color of the walls is different. But I don't even know if you guys can tell. Yeah, so again, like SR with 5 grubs, just like not overloading anything. I think is not great. I think that's like fundamental league for me. They did not play this right. Now the one thing I will say is if they do collect all 3 lanes, then their solo laners for sure outscale. So definitely recommend that. Or recommend. Definitely approve of that. Like that idea. But again, just where SR is at right now, like Palafox being here as a victor, when you only see 1. We're gonna play this far up on this wave when Jace isn't pressuring or seeing anyone. I think that's just really, 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 really aggressive. And Palafox got stuck. So again, like if Palafox exits and just plays waves and then goes to connect, maybe it's playable, but just going for that E is not worth it all. This is a good call from Adi and LYON. Hannah with a nice S ult too. Love the ult placement from Lions. This is the Lions' best game for sure of this split. I was a little frustrated, a little angry with Lions in his first series. This was much better. All right. Yeah, the fucking goat. I actually I appreciate and respect the hell out of the fact that he put Adi Wan. That's his name. That's a name. We are back. We're in a new spot. I know it doesn't look like it, but we did move. I didn't pay anyone shit for the move too, so it was a good amount of work. Well, I guess I lied. I got my friends pizza and beer, but that's worth. Okay. We are, but not this game. It's the next one. I don't know. This game was kind of a bummer. SR just kind of did nothing. Oh, we haven't in my VoD reviews yet because I'm late. Oh, that's fine. We'll catch up in the next couple days for you guys. I don't know, man. Like we're by pulling Otacon here, only way we can connect with Victor is if we TP. Yeah, it's gonna force out some TPs. Like you're down 4K gold and you're gonna get shredded by this, and then you just kind of allow yourself to get pincered like this too. It's very anti this play. This very much felt like desperation. Adi did miss the Q flash. It would have been big if he hits this. Like this is a close fight because For me, ID like messed up his engage, right? I mean, the Aurora engage is massive. And then the flashes from SR to get away from the Licorice are good. Saint had such a big fight. Yeah. Good cleanup by Fudge at the end here. But I just think SR put themselves in such a terrible spot. Like, you show me this screenshot of, like, Oh, also Lions' ult is bad, actually. Yeah, dude, Lions just... No. I think here. I think you draw the one. OU for improving my Renekton win ratio by streaming. Some challenger player came in and mentioned his Triforce Jack of all trades build. That stuff annihilates the Elo. Yeah, Triforce Jack of all trades, big time. I'm big Renekton fan. I lost a Renekton game yesterday. It was unlucky. It's playing well. But when you have 420 CS on Renekton, sadly, sometimes, you know, you just don't scale that far in the game. Nice sidestep there from Fudge. But again, I don't think that's like ever a winning scenario for SR. I don't know, like what they should be doing in that scenario. I mean, again, you have 5 grubs. You still have outer turrets up. And I'm just frustrated that we never saw SR do anything proactive. Like even here, the Panthalt is a long cooldown. So this is your time, your window to actually be able to play 3 lanes and recover. And then you can return and like try and 4-1 when Panthalt's back up. So you can at least have a little bit more protection. But like after that, again, I want to see them overload a lane actually and use the grubs. But it's, yeah, we just haven't done that this game. The line's flashed. Huh. I mean, honestly, because the red buff, it was fun. Yeah, I mean, this is rough. I mean, for me, I think the thing is, like, if we're gonna start to play through bot, then we have to drop the mid waves. Or, like, let them catch it first. And obviously, Fudge walks over a ward here, but he can also, like, take a different route or connect to the team. I think if he actually was potentially on this side of the wall, would have been able to take a little bit more of a direct path out and been closer to contracts and Zazel, so it's a maybe. So do you think the route taken there matters a little bit? And just the theory of like, hey, we're going to drop mid, play for bot, overload, right? Play strong for bot, be able to drop that, and then connect long way. Like, that's not, like, that wasn't done there. Essence Reaver, Cosmic Drive, top with Jack of all trades, Nid. That does sound kind of fun, actually. Oh, that sounds brutal. You throw Trinity Force in there? I assume the Essence Reaver is just so you never run out of mana. But I don't even know if Nid has mana. I guess she does kind of have mana problems up there. Iceborne? Okay. Nice Sonyas. This was a little bit deep for me. But they have Otacon. Like, again, getting Victor off the map is just worth. Saints had a really nice game, by the way, in the Aurora. It's been, I actually thought after this game, Lion were going to win this series. I really did. But yeah, Naden 1v1s and 1v2s is really, 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 really strong. It still took a lot of time to kill the Pantheon. I do think this pick has value. You have a point and click stun. Yeah, just get some CDR after the hard steal. It's pretty chill, actually. Or ability haste. Well played here from Licorice. I like this. Licorice is a player when, like, going through the tape again, I actually got a much more positive view on. He sneaks in here. Like, Palafox thought he left. This is just him playing around with vision. It's really, really good, actually. Like, going through his tape from last year, he did these things really well. And, I mean, he makes Palafox look really dumb with this. Like, just playing on that line of vision. Like, that's actually... I mean, the closer you play that line, the better. Palafox thought he left. He didn't. And, yeah, it was really good. Really good use of the brush and just created a really winning scenario for SR. That's all Licorice. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing to talk about there. Again, I just don't think SR did anything proactive this game. And that's a bummer because they have 5 grubs. And when you have 5 grubs and you're proactive, you can get wins. I have it, sub Cubby. We never saw them, like, try and 4-1 anything down. That's a bummer. Alright. I don't think there's too much more to talk about here. We gotta find the SR win after this. The Palafaker game 3. I think Contract's like trying to go for Saint or Henna. Trying to angle a little bit. There's no reason to QR that. Just why I got stuck. All right. That's game 1. Game dose. Okay. Ambassa first pick for Fudge. That champ is strong. Big Arkeys. Maokai Rel. So I do like the Maokai Rel actually quite a bit into Rumble MF. Removes 2 really good pieces of setup from them. And you can really attack those picks. Like with Maokai, you can set up Hunting Rumble in the side lane. Then you have a big Archie to like try and create a proactive scenario against MF, who is usually able to be the one that with the proactive scenarios with the move speed and the R, right? I think the Poppy is where I have issues. I know this is Fearless. I think that you need to go like... I don't love Poppy and Rel. I think the Poppy, you just really end up getting farmed by these 2 champs. Because this ends up going support, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, if you're going Poppy support here, you're gonna get farmed by Ambessa later on. Like, I don't care how your Steadfast Presence interacts with Ambessa, she is going to munch you. So I feel like we're showing just a lot of attack here. Maokai obviously is flexible because Maokai is just... We love Maokai in this house. He's a little OP. I guess Xin to cancel. But like Xin doesn't feel great in the rel. And it could feel worse. I don't know. I look at this game and I see the setup and I'm like... I think Silas is like the one thing that tries to save this and piece it all together. But I really don't see a way that they can deal with Ambessa outside of like swapping and just absolutely like shafting it early. What do you feel about the Caitlyn? I actually think Caitlyn's pretty playable this game. You have a lot of setup. I don't love Kate Rell as a lane, but you do have a lot of setup for the Kate. And I think that when you have Maokai, Kate Maokai for me is a good pairing. I think this is a game where Kate would really like to have Braum on her team, but if Rell can kind of serve the same role, you can set up traps. It's not my favorite pick, but it's one of the better picks in MF with like, especially with Ashe, Varus off the board. And also I can understand not wanting to play Jinx in this game. I think it actually is a really good game for Jhin. But they want Kate. I guess they feel like that. Yeah, I actually really like Jhin this game. But that's okay. I think the Kate, you have more early threat against their comp, which could be good. Because the Azir and Ambessa will scale. I don't think they can deal with Ambessa this game. Just in the draft. I like B-Voi's rune setup. The curses, the cash back and biscuits kind of interesting. I do like the fact though that he's taking the alt point on Rumble. That's very strong. From the new one in the blue tree. Oh, we already have a take. I know. I literally just like I got pinged, so I just checked that. Hold on. We got actually a play going on. Skipping crab to dive. Pog. Really, really well played by Zazel. That's actually really goofy. That's actually a really good try by Saint, by the way. I missed this. Like, he hit the abduct, so the second part of the E, and if it wasn't for the Bramble Smash move, I actually would have gotten out. Also, if he sneaks in this brush, by the way, I think Saint misplayed this by going for Q. Because it would have cut vision. Fox's award, but at least would have forced another interaction. Obviously, he's just trying to get a Q and an auto off. He definitely would not have gotten an auto off. Good defense from Zazel overall. I'll definitely give Zazel that. That was a big play, actually. Nice. Because you got, I mean, at least Caitlyn is behind early because of that, but it's not disastrous. Yeah, really nice Bramble Smash by Contracts, actually. That's not a 2v2. They win early, so the fact they trade even is good, and then this is not good. We'll see if we get a replay on this one and talk about it. Obviously, it's not good. Love this from Contracts again, though. Big Contracts fan of this house. Oh, it's AP Maokai, too. I mean, I'm gonna assume he doesn't have E. And yeah, because he has lethal tempo, so I'm gonna assume that like he D for sure burn Q and maybe burn D. Yeah, we just get one tap. And he had flash up. That feels bad. Okay. Nice trap from B-Boy. Well played. Hex Drinker and Bessa, okay. I mean, Hex Drinker, a lot of value this game. You get to go into both solo winners and feel really good about that. I do like that. The only bummer is that you don't get to go Sterax now, but even at Bessa, like, you're not going Sterax till later with her builds. Like, a lot of her builds, we're going, like, Cleaver Shojin, Clip Shojin. We've seen some of the lethality, right? I think the lethality build is gross. The fact that she can do that much damage is disgusting. Saint should go to TL immediately. I think Saint's been playing really well. A lot of fans of the LSK Champions League were surprised when LYON got Saint. Just like with Loki going to C9. And yeah, Saint played really well, or has played really well so far. All right, that's unplayable. And it's 2 control words. He's getting back to lane. I mean, he could have gotten one of them out, but he's getting no words himself. Okay, so it's a trade. I mean, not bad. Contract's going Yellow Tree secondary, by the way. Makes a lot more sense now that he's building damage. Oh, it is going to be the damage build for Ambessa. Okay, so Cycle sort of is. I'm a fan. I actually think that line's pretty squishy. And that damage against like a Silas helps a lot. That's where I think the Lion, like, their comp for me just a little bit kind of lacks proactivity just because it is Poppy support. I feel like playing Poppy support in a Maokai, like, if you're facing a Maokai, it is already so hard to win a terrain, like, win the terrain of a fight. That's something that I think Poppy does a really good job of as a champ, just given what her E and her R do, right? You, like, really control fights, the terrain that you take fights on, the one to wear. It's really tough to do it against Maokai. I think Maokai interacts really well with Poppy, too. So I just don't love the pick. And the Redemption first is interesting. I think there is a good amount of upfront damage, actually, with the Ambesses, so I don't know if you can afford to go Redemption first. Even if, like, a lot of Maokai plays are telegraphed. You think Kate's good here? I mean, Kate's a little bit behind. I think Kate's fine, because, like, I think the one thing about current day Kate is that you really need to go collector first item. If not, like, you just don't feel like the same champion. So you can't pick her against tank heavy games. So I do think that we can play Caitlyn this game into what is showing for Lion, which is like a big step. I still like Jhin because I think that we have enough damage everywhere else, especially with the builds we have on top side. So I would like Jhin better, just to bring more support, because I think we have enough damage on the top side. But I thought Kate was fine. Nice play from Saint. Apparently Saint can't get out. Well, that's a bummer. I don't know if that's the case or not, but would like our players to be able to move and roam freely. Well played here by Fudge. So it was alt to kill the wave, and then we have a TP coming in. I mean, I think this is actually playable for Lion. Like, I mean, Licorice hit Smoke Zazel here. I mean, Fudge did miss the Q, but this is a nice juke. Did Saint just miss the R? Oh, no, he was still unstoppable, so he fired it too early. Okay. All right, well played. He said it on stream. It's a little depressing. I haven't checked the subreddit yet today, so I don't know. I don't know what the news is. We just moved, Yanya. We've had our head a little bit further down than usual. Honestly, nice flash from B-Boy. I think that Lions is the one that actually kind of... I don't think Lions has the best clicks here. I like that Adi prep Q3. I think the Lions reacted better here because like he's kind of stutter stepping. If he clicks over here, there is an angle, right? And like with the W's though too, he would have had some time to set it up. Because if he finds the wall bang, it is a kill. Oh, it's Mikhail's rush. Okay. How come Utensil isn't being built in programs? Item is value and she works slower pace. You still need the power like now. I just don't think they're playing the champs that like want to build an item. There are other builds that like are stronger. Like in this game, again, like with Caitlyn, I think if you aren't going collector first, you just aren't getting the max value out of the champion right now. So I know Utensil is an option, like a decent build on Kate, but if we aren't going collector, I think that we're looking for games where you can go collector and like then Kate becomes viable. I sometimes just how some champs or items work, I do feel that way about Kate right now. I haven't seen a lot of Kate, I will say, but oh my god, double tendrils. I actually kind of hate how you adopt the skins ult. It's just base alts, guys. What happened here? The Licorice ult's just not... Oh, it's unlucky, actually. This is a miscom. I'd like to think that if Lions was hitting Palafox out, then Licorice doesn't fire Equalizer here. Yeah, now he's going to get cooked. Yeah. Okay, that's a misexecute from Lions. I actually think, though, like, the terrain and where they're looking for this fight, like, again, given their comp, you have MF Rumble. You're telling me you get a jungle fight where you get to Maokai ult? Like, that should be a pretty good scenario. It's just that Licorice doesn't sync up with Lions or the rest of the team here. Hannah's ult, I think, is fine. Like, they're really split. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, I actually think, again, the idea is okay here. It's just contracts. I feel like contracts should, like... I mean, if Lions just waited like a hair, then they actually get them. It's a good flash by contracts, and I do think, like, this all should be angled this way. I do. Yeah. Actually, Yuntal's on Triss does make a lot of sense. Just given, like, how easily that she... Or how safe it is for her to acquire farm, too. And the attack speed steroid, as you mentioned. Probably in Xayah, too. I'm wondering if, like, Xayah has the mana pool to support it by not going Reaver, but... We see it. The Drake post-fight. Alright. It's probably only going to be this series, guys, for this VoD review session. I'm not going to have time to get through the other one. And I would like to get food before Hotline League, but I will stream more after Hotline League. We'll go through another best of 3, maybe a little bit more. I do have a lot of series to go through. That's what I figured. But again, like the theory of having the attack speed steroid and acquiring farm and then scaling, I think that those are the champs you're looking to, go it on. Actually, no, it's a little bit non-intuitive with Kog'Maw, but I'm curious how good it would be with Kog'Maw. But Cog, you probably still have to go like Bork Rageblade with Cog, so probably not an option. Used to like some crit Cog. You actually spike pretty early with Cog with the steroids you get. All right, what happened here? This is obviously with the side scam. Nice pick. Licorice can join. Licorice TP is pretty far. Yeah, like, I think Licorice, if he TP's a little bit closer, it's good, but still, like, this is, a little bit later in the game, so this 2v2 is now a Zero Maokai favorite if you're going to play into him like this. Palafox does a nice job of holding the choke. Obviously, Palafox living, I think, is a wee bit lucky, but even him eating in there, I'm not too against. Yeah, if you get Cog W uptime, the quick blades, actually, yeah. I'm sure it's not bad. They're like, I think Crit Vayne and Crit Cog are just kind of slept on. But. Because Vayne's Q ratio is actually pretty aggressive, and it scales with R2. Or R buffs it. Yeah, if you go Crit Vayne, put like 3 points in Q, and have BF Sword, those those autos hit like truck. You hit like a truck there. Ooh. Should Palafox be here. See, this is like where for me, SR, usually when you play out 3 lanes, you have a push lane and a catch lane. Like you want to seesaw the map a little bit, so you acquire everything. Palafox is in the push scenario, and his team was helping the low lane, or they're on Fudge side, so he's a 1. Probably just can't play one more wave. It's nice from B-Boy. I hate how those traps look, by the way. Okay, that was a spectator bug. Nice. Actually, really, really well done by SR. I like the ult from Henna, too. But, yeah, good job holding the choke here with the Azir Kate. And Lion weren't able to play waves to actually like get a setup where they have any angles. Yeah, actually really well played. Just Kate things. Really like how B-Boy's throwing the Q elsewhere, by the way. Because, like, that's a kill, right? Yeah, fucking Zanya's in the Kate. Feels bad, man. Really nice setup here from SR. I really, really like the fight they took, actually. Like, again, the terrain control that they have is really, really solid in this scenario. I think it's been a really nice Maokai game here from Contracts. Yeah, I still really like the Silas pick. I feel like Silas like the one thing that maybe could have saved this game or comp. But I don't think that LYON are proactive enough. I have some issue. I just don't think the Poppy Xin Rumble is a great core. I would look for a different support pairing because I think that Xin with the 2 solo lanes you have actually pairs up pretty well. But I don't think the Poppy complements MF or like the team, like what they want to do very well. I don't think knocking people out actually is really valuable this game if you're LYON. I mean, you find Azir, like that kind of stuff it is, but they don't have any, like, I would rather have Leona where I can always threaten backline. Something like, I don't, like, because I feel like that just complements MF and Rumble so much more than Poppy. Yeah, they're lacking a really sound go bot. Like, it has to be whatever ult that Saint grabs. Yeah. So I don't want to chalk it up to draft diff because I also thought that SR actually like set up some fights and LYON were definitely desynced. But I do think that like I don't like how Poppy interacts with this comp. Yeah, Saint's just going for plays. This game's rep. I do really like the Maokai. Again, like Maokai is Azir Kate. I feel like that complements each other really well. And sometimes with Fearless, it's just about finding like the better core comp identity, you know? All right. Last game. A lot of bans. So I was actually really surprised here that SR didn't get rid of Varus, especially when Ashe was banned away. Varus just really strong. Both builds are viable. So then you go Ziggs. Ziggs definitely dissuades the on-hit Varus, but you can still go poke Varus and be okay. Which I think ends up happening this game. My issue is I don't think Urgot does enough damage. So like you are on such a timer if you're LYON playing this game. And I really like Poke Varus. Like, I think Poke Varus is still perfectly fine and viable, especially against Ziggs. But this comp, you have no DPS past a certain timer. Urgot has DPS, but he has so many conditions that you need to grant in order for Urgot to actually get that damage out. And this comp, for me, just doesn't help do that. I really don't like Rakan in this game either. I think, again, Leona is what you need. Because Rakan, like, I'm looking to piggyback in off people. Like, who are going to piggyback in off of? Oh, they banned Leona themselves. Wow. Actually, that's reasonable. Man, play Blitz, like, please. I don't know. I'm really anti Rakan this game. I think like you're picking into a self counter pick matchup. Like, you don't feel good into these two champs. You don't feel good. You feel okay into this champ. You got to play it well. You feel really shit into this champ, by the way. Amumu ruins Rakan. I think support was like really narrowed in this game, so I don't think that you have a ton of options if you're Lions. I just don't think Rakan was the pick. Like, I would actually rather see Thresh this game. Legitimately. And that champ's butt, sadly. So, yeah. Because of that, I do favor SR's comp. Like, you have DPS here, and there's no DPS over here, so like the clock's ticking, you know. We're on a timer pretty heavily. All right. Whoop. All right, guys. Last game of the best 3. After this, I'm going to get some food before Hot One League and then probably call home. Talk to my folks. More Cash back from Licorice. Interesting. Do you like the Zig setup? That's good for the non-tier build, which I assume B-Boy's going. And it's ability haste for the Renekton. Okay, I think that makes sense against Urgot. Like, you don't want to be auto attacking. You want to be using your abilities. I like that from Fudge. That's like the one choice you get as Renekton when it comes to runes. Attack speed or ability haste, and I think it's the right game for haste. Some of the flexibility Rakan showing, at least like with the 1-point wonder Q, that point is so OP. It can't help you in these poke lanes. Still, interactions should be Nautilus favored. Like, Nautilus has a lot of ways to stymie you. I actually don't think B-Boy's playing this fantastic. Like, we aren't chaining the WQs. Because if you're a good Ziggs player, whenever you do get someone on Satchel Charge, like that, you should be using that to set up your Qs. This was not great. And Palfak's just so stuck here. So I don't think we can go for this play. Like, even that, like, that's sidestep from Palfox was really good. It's just at this point of the game, you're stuck. I think part of why he's doing this because he knows that he has Zazel coming as well. But yeah, and then the Flash, a little unlucky. It's actually a good reaction to Flash from the Saint Flash, just straight line. Bummer. Get line at top line and then compete for top 4. I will say I think that Licorice like mechanically is not the strongest top liner, but I still think that he does a lot of little things really well that not a lot of people like see. I mean, we talked in the last game or game 1, like just playing with Vision created the super winning scenario where I just like skirted around Vision really well. I still think he actually knows what to do, like his jobs and fights really well. Just like individually has not been as good in lane or like solo as he was in GG. Yeah, I like frankly when it comes to this team, I really feel like Lions is the weakest piece. And I know that he was remote or like on like out of here, but I'm not gonna use that to excuse everything. Hello, Mr. Cubby. When does NACL start? There's actually an announcement for that. OQs are going to be coming up, which will get people into the last, decide the last 3 teams for NACL, and then the league itself starts March 26th. Yeah, I mean, that was in the original announcement, which not a lot of people saw. On this stream, like whenever NACL has been mentioned, it's like, yeah, it doesn't start until March. It didn't think it'd be all the way at the end of March. Obviously a bummer. And OQs will be fun. I will say that. There'll be some good players and teams competing in OQs. But, yeah, it's tough. Let's see. So keep in mind, like, yes, Lion, they're winning this game at the moment, but this comp is on a hella timer. And I'd argue that, like, where they're at right now in the game is they're not ahead of pace. This team's on schedule at best. I think Palafox gets Yone ever again. I mean, probably at some point, but yeah, he was really good in it. I mean, he kind of willed his team across the finish line here, which is good to see. Game 1 was not his game for sure. But he played much better game 2 and 3, so good for him. This series. I know yesterday's series didn't go the way they wanted it to either. I kind of brushed through those. The Thali yeah, so the reason though you have to go the Thali, like whenever players see Ziggs, they want to opt to go the Thali Ferris as much as possible because it's really the only way that you can play into Ziggs, and you do beat him early. So we talked about this like with the draft they had. I didn't like the fact they didn't take any DPS in mid or top because Varus first pick, like part of why Varus is first pickable because you get flexibility in the build. So I think that they could have been fine if they took DPS elsewhere, but they just didn't. Urget's not DPS. It's a tough scenario. I think this TP needs to be sooner if they're going to use it at all, but also I don't think this TP should ever happen. Like, you're up... Okay, this is also like what I was talking about. You're up grubs, overload in the bot. Split the map. You play this faster. Like, this wave is in bot. Grubs are 4-2 right now. If you go bot, you win the race to first turret. And you can afford to give up 1 death for feats of strength, too. Like, in this scenario, it's a 4-1. It's a split map. You should be winning. The only bummer would be all the camps are on the top side. So you're dropping that, which actually is, like, very disadvantageous. So as I talk through this, right, that's, like, the one thing that, like, you know, we can talk about for defending your top side. But, like, also, Adi's making the decision where I'm pretty standard, right? Oh, we dropped this. We're going to go cross map, see if we can get anything. They don't. But, yeah, then we TP in. It's bad. Should not have been a TP in ever. Again, if you just hit that tower, you would have won the race to first brick here. Like, again, 4 grubs. I know it's Yone and Renekton. They're going to do more damage, but Ahri's, you know, you'd probably take an attack speed rune. You're in there. Oh, actually, it was Green Tree Ahri too, so you have Demolish. On-hit's so hard to play in most games. Not really. I think it's just because people see Varus. They don't want to allow on-hit Varus to exist because it does so much damage. It's so hard to compete with on-hit Varus damage. So it's like you are forced to take things that interact well with on-hit Varus or prevent on-hit Varus from existing. So I think that's why you get a lot of games that look like that. That just given that, yes, he's very first pickable because of his build. He's also just really strong right now. His kit's great. I mean, the W and the R are just disgusting. Like, the Q is a disgusting ability. E is a gross ability. Like, this guy's kit is so good. Hey, man, how are things going? Hey, what's up? Pyro Scorch. Good. We're kind of wrapping up the move. There's a TV, like, like, behind me on the ground that I haven't hung yet, but it's getting close. So I can on... Yeah, for sure. All right. I got a little bit distracted by the chat, which is fun. Thanks for hopping in before Hot One League, guys. I know I kind of started the stream late. We're not only going over one series. I am behind, though, so got to knock these out. Yeah, 100% right. Or gotta be kidding me. And, like, Yone Ziggs, I think, really good answer, actually, into Varus. Because, again, like, the thing I was talking about, the DPS, right? Varus, you go pokes, you need DPS elsewhere. Yone brings that for the Ziggs. He's also, you know... And you get split damage, which is nice. So, I mean, again, like, this game, LYON, after that point top for me, this game got really hard for them. This team needs to be ahead of schedule. And their schedule at this point, like, they want to be up 4K gold. They're on track in terms of objectives. They're not on track in terms of gold. The fact it's an even gold game. Like, once 2 items comes in, SR outscale from there. For sure. Also, like, Renekton just hella useful this game. I don't know. I love playing Renekton in the Viego comps. You're so fucking strong early, and you interact so well with Viego. So it really feels like you can slow down the game for like something that like needs to get rolling, you know. Kind of like how if you're a Viego player, you probably love playing with Renektons, you know. This was unlucky for Licorice, but I appreciate how Licorice laughs stuff off like this, because this is like a, you know, you have no control over this. It is just trying to get lucky once you get the R in. I mean, the flash is an okay try. It's just we're not flashing everything, obviously, right? Like, we're flashing a Zeyzal auto, so that's not great. But also, I think he got a kneecap off, which might have helped him pull Renekton in. I think that's why he flashed. Yeah, he did get a kneecap off. Oh, yeah, no, this thing was casted early. It was casted here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So he flashed to get a kneecap off. That's okay. That was close. Good repeat. Really, that is a good play from mine. I do like the repeat. Fudge is too far up here. So it's kind of hard to see how the whole map looked, but it's the earliest thing we get. Yeah, no one else on Fudge's team is up in the lane. And yeah. And then he didn't flash the R. That's not great. That slows down the game a little bit for SR. SR's still in really, really good shape. Outside of the dragons. The fact the Lions got 3 dragons at the moment is their saving grace. Yeah, I still see some moments from Fudge where like I really like the aggression. Like, and he is a player that can play up, and he's good enough to do it. It's just that I feel like he knows that and just defaults to it too much. I think Fudge showed restraint in like 1 or 2 more waves, then he would really go up in terms of like where I'd put him in the rankings of top laners in this league. I don't know. I hope Fudge like can keep on scaling throughout the season. He's got a lot of fans. Like he's personable. I've got nothing against him. I think it'd be great if we have a former champion come back and like play well in the league, but I don't think he's playing to the caliber. He's not playing the caliber of league that he was playing back then, and so it'd be fun to see him get back. I think like hands wise, it's like he's got it. He just needs to play smarter. And for me, it's like a little bit more restraint at times. So that's all good. He just played like he made a really good play on the top side there. And again, this game he's so strong as Renekton. All right, here comes the Palafox moment. Good W. His flash is really good. I think he missed the Q. Did he try and Q? If he turns this Q around, by the way, and hits it, then he's the GOAT. I mean, he's already the GOAT for, like, the flash itself. The flash was really good. If he hit that, it would have been Pog. Good Q. Really, really well played here. Love how he uses the E to dodge. Yeah, that's what wins him this. Yeah, really good. And then meanwhile, bot side, Saints in a little bit of trouble. Nice bomb from B-Boy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the flash is like the one. That's the really impressive one. Dude, I remember the casters were talking about too. Like sometimes when you have Otacon, like you just can't afford to go for stuff and see what happens because, of course, you know, what does dying as Otacon get you? You know. I don't know if he needed to burn that, but they were doing this. He gets TP in. No? Okay. That's an oopsie. Yeah, they should just be doing the Drake anyway. I think all they need to do is deny Drake, and then this game's pretty won. So I don't like the fact they were on Baron there. I like the fact that they pulled off and went straight here and got here first. This is good. I feel like Cubby's playable right now. Yeah, I mean, that's always been, like, I think Palafox's Silas has always been really good. His Yone's always been good. Good flash there from Bevo. I actually appreciate Hennon trying to go for that. Again, I think they're really far down in this game, so I think trading flash for flash there is actually kind of worth. He's got the shield. Yeah, it's, again, really well played by Palafox. I mean, I think that Lions, if Lions wants to go for this play, he can do it. He just needs to lead with flash instead of W. I mean, his Azir is fine. I think his Nico's really, not a control mage, but his Nico is really good. He's a gross Galio player, too. Like, old school gross Galio player. I actually want to see that. His Galio was, like, permabanned away from him when he was in Academy. Ooh. Hold on. Oh, nice. I'd actually get out of the not alt with that. Okay. I think contract's too far up here for sure. There's not much else to say. I mean, you can also just like take wraps and get out, but we queue in. Oops. Galio's so strong. I'd F with that, yeah. I mean, not Super Bowl weekend. Yeah. Fortunately, though, you know. Love the flash. Really good. I mean, he is really fed at Yone at this point. Like, when you're 6-0-2 and ahead of the curve, level 18 like this, like, you're 3 levels up. You need to go Super Saiyan for sure. Palafox did a nice job of that. He had a really clean game. Yeah, I mean, this champion's gross. Yone for me is, like, Yi and Yone are my two vans. I think this champion's so gross. You're like Yasuo, except you don't have to risk getting your farm. And your E is, like, just complete bullshit. Even your Q is, like, more bullshit than Yasuo, you know? Yeah, he's just not fun to play against or with. Unless you're playing, like, funnel meta and it's Taric. Hot take, I think Yi's supposed to be played mid. But, you know. I think Yi should be, like, Super Saiyan mid laner. Like, Trinity levels of scaling. Like, solo in. Oh, the Kane top. Yeah, Kane top's BS. Kane's just a hard champ. Because like if you get Kane in the right drafts, he can just be so good, especially in solo queue. All right, GG's SR. All right, guys, that's it for this VoD review. Shout out to SR. Nice comeback win, 2-1. Palafox went off game 3. As always, guys, follow me over at CubbyXX, especially on Twitch where I stream these live.